Hi, Cal from BHP UK, and a few months ago we started work in earnest on the Triumph Euro 5 bikes. We've already been able to, for a few months, be able to read the ECUs on these bikes now. We've already started some background development work. We've got the Speed Triple 1200 in, and it's the first Euro 5 Triumph that we're going to develop. We've got a few more lined up. We are, like I say, by the end of 2022 we should have pretty much the Triumph lineup set up and fully developed. So we're just going to run through the normal procedure, get the bike on the dyno, run it at all throttle openings, see how Triumph have set it up as standard. We know obviously it's a Euro 5 bike, it's going to have to meet Euro 5 emissions regulations, and as such it's going to be really lean, especially at the bottom. The feedback that we're getting from riders and bikes that we've ridden ourselves is they're a little bit lumpy at the bottom end. That's something that we're going to address first. We'll get some runs done on it and we'll take it from there. So what did we get on the 1200? At wide open throttle, the bike's actually pretty good. The fueling's okay, same as usual on a Euro 5 bike. However, we did actually manage to get a gain of about 10 brake horsepower. A lot of that came after 9,000 RPM. The bike is limited at the factory and it's about 9,000 RPM. The power starts to tail off and the bike revs out to just over 10. We've been able to take some of the limiters off at the top end of the rev range and let the bike carry on producing power all the way past 11,000 RPM. As you can see here, from 9,000 to just over 11,000 RPM, the power curves separate ways. The bike carries on producing power, it's no longer limited, and it actually tops out at 167 brake horsepower, a full 10 brake horsepower more than the stock bike. As great as that is, the real transformation of the bike comes below 70% throttle openings. Up to about 70 or 80% throttle openings, the bike is really lean. That really does compromise the throttle response and the power delivery of the bike. So with this bike, we've actually measured it in degrees of throttle opening. So at 20 degrees of throttle opening, which is about 23%, the throttle opens 85 degrees on this bike. 23%, the bike is absolutely transformed. We've got the fueling absolutely perfect, exactly where we wanted it. The bike as standard would rev to about 7,500 RPM. It took a long time to get there. The bike now actually revs out to about 9,000 RPM. As you can see here, there's a huge separation. The stock bike, the power delivery just looks like a jagged saw blade, and it's very erratic. This is where the lumpiness comes from. When you ride this bike in traffic, everybody complains. It was something that we picked up when we test rode one when they first came out. The delivery is very, very lumpy, and you can see afterwards that the power is significantly smoothed off. Okay, so at 40 degrees opening, which is about 47% throttle, now the bike, again, the mid-range is absolutely transformed and smoothed off. From 3,000 RPM up to about 8,000 RPM, you can see here the red line is the mapped bike. There's a good separation. At about 5,500 RPM, we gain about 5 brake horsepower. The stock bike's making about 60. The modified bike makes about 65. Like I say, the biggest improvement really is in the throttle response of this bike and all the low down, the sub 70% throttle openings. The bike now, we've test ridden these on the road, they ride totally different to a stock bike. The power delivery is linear and the throttle response is absolutely immediate. It really does transform the way that the bike rides on the road, and that's where the biggest gains are. This bike now is fully developed for our ECU Flasher. The link to our shop is in the description below. All you need to do with this device is take a read from your bike, send that file to us, and one of our map writers will write a bespoke file for your bike. Well, that's a wrap on the Speed Triple 1200. We're really happy with what we managed to achieve with this bike. Had to go down a slightly different route than we initially anticipated, but you know, that's what the development's for, to find out what we've actually got to do and do what we've actually got to do, not what we've anticipated that we're going to have to do. Like I say, we're more than happy with the results. I've had a quick ride on this bike myself, it rides really well. Don't forget to drop us a subscribe and hit the bell icon to keep you informed of any new Triumph videos that we've got coming up.